Well, hey there, everyone. It's Mrs. Asaro, and I am here to teach your class how to write an I am poem. You'll be learning about the poetic device of sensory images, and let's get started. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce myself to you. My name is Mrs. Asaro, and I have an online teaching store called All in One Middle School. I was a teacher for 34 years. Teaching language arts was and is my passion. This lesson is a poetry tutorial. You'll have a completed and polished poem by the end. This presentation, along with guided notes, are available to print in my TPT store, and you can see the link in the video description. If you're using the guided notes, you should fill them in when you see this icon. You can do the lesson without guided notes, but you'll have to make sure that you have paper and pencil available to write your ideas. If your teacher lets you work with a partner, you will turn and talk in certain portions. I hope you find it helpful. Let's dive in. Let's talk about a mentor text. Today, you will be learning about writing with sensory images, then using this poetic device to write an original poem. It's always good to have a mentor text to refer to when learning new skills. It doesn't have to be in writing, however. Using songs is a great way to learn, especially with poetry. For this lesson, we will examine the song Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. Your teacher may prefer for you to use a different mentor text or song. If so, when you take notes, just substitute in what your teacher tells you to use. So you're going to pause my video and click on Don't Stop Believin'. It's about 4 minutes long. The link is in the video description. A link to the copy of the lyrics is there as well in case you find that helpful. While you're listening, think about how the lyrics describe various things with sensory images such as see, hear, touch, taste, and so pause my video and take a listen to the song. So why do we need to know sensory images? There's no doubt that you have been listening to songs, which are poems with music. Hopefully, you've also written some poems. Note, if something is not a poem, it is referred to as prose. A regular novel, a letter, and a contract are among many items which can be classified as prose. Prose does, however, often contain sensory images. Understanding sensory images helps us to understand poems and prose, and it also helps us to become better writers. So, sensory images, let's get on board. Today's goal is to understand that sensory images are used to provide descriptions with the 5 senses: see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Understanding sensory images will help you in your reading and writing. You will apply this skill to writing an original poem. So, as we said, sensory images are descriptions that use the 5 senses: see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. Here are some examples from a scene that takes place in the woods. So, what you would see, possibly. We walked along the path lined with trees as fog hung low in the sky. Here, overhead, the birds squawk as if in mourning. Touch. I tripped over a thorny bush and pricked my finger. Taste. The heat was so oppressive, so I took a swig of my lukewarm water from my only remaining water bottle. Smell. The pine trees gave off their familiar scent. So you can see how adding all of this kind of puts you right in that time and place and makes you feel more connected to what's happening. So now you're going to try it. You're going to think about the song Don't Stop Believing. You're going to turn and talk to your partner about the sensory images used in the song. If you have guided notes, you'll fill them in together. You're going to use these prompts to help you. What does the singer see? What does the singer hear? What does the singer taste, smell, and feel? Okay. Teacher note here, if you're using a different mentor text or song, have the students examine that instead. So pause my video and turn and talk and fill in your guided notes. Okay, let's try a little more practice with sensory images. So you're going to think about now, not the song, but what's going on with you in this very moment, right? Turn and talk to your partner about the sensory images around you right now. When it comes to taste, you can write something that you want to taste if you are not tasting anything currently. If you have the guided notes, fill them in together and use the prompts to help you. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you taste? What do you smell? And what do you feel? When we say feel, we mean feel anywhere on your body, right? So I could feel a chair against my back. Okay, it doesn't just have to be with your fingers. So pause my video, turn and talk, and fill in your guided notes. Okay, now you're going to do some brainstorming. You're going to gather thoughts for your poem. You're going to write an original poem that will use sensory images. You can add other poetic devices if you like, such as simile and onomatopoeia. It will be called an I am poem. Before you start, do some brainstorming. Turn and talk and come up with some ideas. Then fill in your guided notes, brainstorm page, or use your notebook if you're not using the guided notes. So note there is an example on the following slide in case you'd like to see that first. So I'm going to show it to you before you begin, but you're going to describe a feeling that you currently have, describe a hope that you have either about yourself or about the world, describe a fear that you have either about yourself or the world. Describe what you see when you think about the hope and or fear that you mentioned above. Describe what you hear when you think about the hope and or fear that you mentioned above. Come up with at least 5 different ways to fill in the blanks for this phrase. I am, it can be anything here, okay? You can use any type of word, a noun, an adjective, whatever. And you can also use more than one word if you like. So I just want to quickly go over my example to help you. Here's an example. Describe a feeling that you currently have, anxious. Describe a hope that you have either about yourself or the world. I hope for a peaceful weekend. Describe a fear that you have either about yourself or about the world. I fear not doing well in math this year. Describe what you see when you think about that hope or fear. I see a disapproving look on my parents' faces. Describe what you hear when you think about that hope or fear. I hear my parents telling me I need to study more. And now you're going to fill in the I am part. And this is what I came up with based on what I said. I am worried. I am determined. I am hopeful. I am trying my best. I am staying positive. Okay. So you're going to pause the video. You're going to fill in your guided notes using the prompts. Okay. This is the I am poem template. When you get to your guided notes, you don't have to fill anything in there. This is just so that you can see the template and you're going to see all the different fillers. So it looks pretty simple, but I want you to put some some embellishment in it, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But here, the sentence starters are I am, I wonder, I hear, I see, I want, I am, I pretend, I hear, I touch, I worry, I cry. I understand, I say, I dream, I try, I hope, I am. So you'll notice that the I am prompt is repeated, as are a couple of the other ones as well. So step one, you have to decide on your topic. In the previous try it slide, you did some brainstorming. Decide on your topic. From looking at the brainstorm example that I did about the math, about worrying about math, possible topics are determination, self-improvement, getting help when needed. So you're going to pause and fill in your guided notes with your topic. Next, step two, brainstorm sensory images. Come up with some sensory images for your topic. You can add some embellishments, meaning describe it a bit. Fill in 2 ideas for each on the guided notes page. An example has been done for you. Okay, so my topic I chose is determination because I wanted to turn it and all that worry into something positive. For C, I see my parents' disappointed faces. Here, I hear my teacher telling me she will help me. And again, this is a little different than my brainstorm. You don't have to write exactly what you wrote in your brainstorm. You were using that to kind of get your brain moving. Okay, so for here, I chose something different. I hear my teacher telling me she will help me. Touch, I touch the C minus, willing it to go away. Taste, I taste the swig of water before looking at my test grade. Smell, I smell the cookies baking in the cafeteria down the hall. Okay, so you're going to pause and fill in your guided notes and come back to the video. Step 3 is to start your poem. You're going to work on lines 1 through 6. Your job here is to think creatively and what we would call poetically about your topic. So you're not just thinking literally and basically, you're thinking creatively. Okay. Be sure to write more than just one word, embellish your thoughts. Use your brainstorming ideas, but feel free to change things up as you go along. That's all part of the poetry writing process, okay? So you're going to fill this in on your guided notes, and here's my example that I did for you. I am anxious. I wonder if this will ever be easy. I hear my teachers offer to help. I see the large C minus. I want to do better. I am frustrated. So I changed this up. You're not necessarily repeating it. You're adding something different here. So pause my video and work on lines 1 through 6. Okay, step 4, continue your poem. You're going to work on lines 7 through 10. Your job here again is to think creatively and poetically. Be sure to write more than one word with embellishing your thoughts. Okay, use your brainstorming ideas, but feel free to change things up. Fill it in on your guided notes, and here's my example. I pretend it doesn't bother me. I hear the voice in my head telling me to keep trying. I touch the large C minus, willing it to go away. I worry that I will never succeed. I cry when I think this could hold me back. Pause my video and work on lines 7 through 10. Step 5, finish your poem. Work on lines 11 through 16. Again, you're thinking creative and poetically. And as it is the end of the poem, be sure to leave the reader with your overall feeling, which might be different from the beginning of your poem. Be sure to write more than just word and embellish your thoughts. Use your brainstorming ideas, but feel free to change it. You're going to fill it in on your guided notes, and here is my example. I understand that I am more than this grade. I say I have many strengths. I dream of going to a good college with middle school math in my rearview mirror. I try to conform to what this class demands from me. I hope I can show my strengths. I am determined. Okay, so you can see my ending line showed a different emotion than the beginning. Pause my video and work on lines 11 through 16. Okay, step 6, title and review. Now it's time to come up with a title. You can pull a line from your poem or create something completely different. When your poem is complete, read it aloud to yourself and or a partner. Make some tweaks. Sometimes it's best to come back to your poem the next day to get some fresh ideas. So I decided to call my poem Nothing Can Hold Me Back. And here's my entire poem. I am anxious. I wonder if this will ever be easy. I hear my teachers offer to help. I see the large C minus. I want to do better. I am frustrated. I pretend it doesn't bother me. I hear the voice in my head telling me to keep trying. I worry that I will never succeed. I cry when I think that this could hold me back. I understand that I am more than this grade. I say I have many other strengths. I dream of going to a good college with middle school math in my rearview mirror. I try to conform to what this class demands of me. I hope I can show my strengths. I am determined. And that is a wrap. Be sure to tune back in for more Teach My Class episodes. You can also check out First Chapter Friday on my YouTube channel, where I'll read the first chapters of my favorite middle school novels. Hope to see you soon.